My dear friends in Christ, my name is Father Richard Hogan. I'm a priest of the Archdiocese of St. Paul, Minneapolis, in Minnesota, and I want to talk to you today a little bit about the pro-life issues. Now, the pro-life issues are, of course, a matter of life and death, both at the beginning of life with abortion, at the end of life with euthanasia or assisted suicide. And both of those, of course, the Church condemns in very strong terms, especially in John Paul II's encyclical, The Gospel of Life, which, as Archbishop Roach, of late memory, who was Archbishop of St. Paul, Minneapolis, called the Encyclopedia of Life. But there are, it's not just the tragedy of human beings being killed, it's also a question of the thought that justifies this kind of attack on human life. And of course, the first issue is a question of law. In the pro-choice slogan, there are lies, and this is not always obvious. The pro-choice slogan says, in effect, that law takes away choice. Now, I want you to think about this for a second or two. Does law actually take away choice? I mean, we have all kinds of speeding laws. How many of you have ever gone faster than the speed limit? I just did driving over here. I think most people do all the time. If law took away choice, then you would not be able to speed because the car would just stop, and that would be the end of it. You couldn't continue at the speed you were driving because law would remove the choice you have to drive at that speed. Now, this is obviously crazy. Law does not take away choice, but every single time there is any kind of proposed legislation against abortion or euthanasia, the contrary opinion that those who are pro-choice, those who are pro-death, will say that this law takes away human freedom. That's ridiculous. Law doesn't take away choice. You can do whatever you want. In fact, I defy any police force in the world to prevent you from committing, say, suicide, if that's what you want to do. I mean, they have laws against that, and they enforce them, and they try to make sure you don't do it. But if you are intent on it, you can do it without a problem. You know, jump off the tallest building in your town or whatever. Law does not take away choice, because choice is internal and law is external. Our free will is absolute. The only one who could take away choice is God, and he never, ever would do it, because to do it would turn us into robots. So law does not take away choice. Well, if you can do anything you want, anytime you want, why have law? Well, law is supposed to enshrine the truth. It's supposed to enshrine the truth of human dignity. We have speeding laws so that we don't kill each other on the highways. We have laws against stealing so human dignity isn't violated by people taking away our property. We have laws against kidnapping so people are not attacked and taken away from their families and loved ones and so on. Good law enshrines and protects human dignity. Bad law attacks it. Law does not take away choice, but this is one of the lies in the pro-choice slogan. You know that old movie, Mary Poppins, you know, a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down. Well, here, a spoonful of the truth, choice, freedom, helps the lies go down. And the lies are insidious, because if you actually believe that law takes away choice, then we can't have any laws anywhere ever, because it would attack human dignity. It would attack one of the very hearts of what makes us human beings. Now, the second lie in the pro-choice slogan is even worse. The second lie is that we can decide whatever we want, and our choices actually make the choice right. In other words, whatever I choose is right just because I've chosen it. So I choose to kidnap somebody. I choose to enslave somebody. Like, for example, in the 1850s in the United States, when we had all the slaveholders, especially in the southern states. Their choice made that right. right? Well, I thought we settled that, with this war we had about 150 years ago. Choice is not absolute. Choice is an exercise of freedom, but freedom doesn't trump truth. So, what are we saying here? The pro-choice slogan is saying that whatever I choose is right just because I've chosen it. Now, you may think that's crazy. It is crazy. But it's the law of the land now, the supreme law of the land. Because in the Casey decision of 1992, the decision that was the binding decision said, among other things, and I want you to listen to this carefully, at the heart of liberty is the right to define one's own concept of existence, of meaning, of the universe, and of the mystery of human life. At the heart of liberty is the right to define one's own concept of existence, of meaning, of the universe, and of the mystery of human life. That's in the Casey decision of 92. Now what does that mean? It means that we're all gods. Because we have freedom, says the court, we can decide anything. We can recreate the universe. We can have it our way. I've always wanted to see the rings of Saturn. And, NASA isn't going to send me out to Saturn. They're not going to do that. Not that I want to spend, whatever length of time it would take to get there. I'm just going to have Saturn come closer, Since I can define the universe according to the Supreme Court, I'm going to bring Saturn close to the Earth so it can orbit the Earth. And then I'll be able to see the rings with telescopes or whatever. And people say, well, no, you can't do that, Father. You just can't, because there'll be tsunamis and volcanic eruptions and all these other terrible things. No, not in my universe. We'll bring Saturn to the Earth, have it orbited, and it won't have any more gravity than it needs to orbit the Earth. And then nothing will happen. Because in my universe, it won't have the gravity. And then, of course, we'll send it back out to where it belongs, and it can have all the gravity it wants, right? Because I can define the universe. I can define meaning. I can define the existence of human life, and so forth and so on. My other example that I like to use, and if you don't like chocolate, substitute some food you like. I think we should make the world safe for chocolate. By that I mean we create a universe where we can eat all we want without ever getting full, without ever getting sick, without ever rotting a tooth, without ever putting on a pound. We just eat chocolate all day because we've created that universe. We are the creators. We can decide how the universe is going to be organized. So if you like steak or chocolate or ice cream, you just define the universe that way. And you can have it that way because in the Casey decision, the 9 judges said you could. Now, if you think this is nuts, you're right. It is. Because what it is, in